Are you looking for a quick way to make better poses for your manga or comic so that your characters aren't dull, stiff, and lifeless? This lesson was taught by Disney animator legend Walt Stanchfield. Together with one of Disney's 9 old men, Eric Larson, they taught the artists who brought about the Disney Renaissance. This simple lesson will power up your characters so that they capture dynamic movement and show powerful emotions that will pull your readers into the pages of your manga or comic. You'll learn the secret behind the best manga and comic artists' dynamic poses, how this simple tip instantly makes your characters feel more real and engaging, and how you can find the perfect pose to suit character dialogue so that your characters aren't standing around looking like terribly posed action figures. So what's the secret to better poses for your manga or comic? During my time as an animator, I wanted to really improve my character posing. A friend of mine suggested this book, Drawn to Life, 20 Golden Years of Disney Master Classes, Volume 1. In Chapter 46, Mr. Stanchfield taught something that changed how I drew from that day on. Let's take a look at this panel from the manga Hajime no Ippo. What is the character doing? Did you say punching? Points if you said throwing an uppercut. What about this from the manga Death Note? He's not just sitting, right? Last one. What is the person doing? I'm pretty sure you're picking up what I'm putting down. The secret, and it's a simple one, is using action words as the foundation to your poses. As an added tip, the more specific the word, the better. Like running versus sprinting. It becomes easier to pose the character in an appealing way that helps to visually tell a story using a strong verb. You might be thinking, posing the characters with verbs is great, but isn't it the way the characters are in perspective that makes it dynamic? For sure, it's what gives the drawing that extra kick. Coming from an animation background, 2 animation principles come to mind: exaggeration and staging. What you're aiming to do is arrange the elements in the panel in a way that helps tell the story best. Perspective is a skill that's an important part to staging. It helps to keep up the illusion of 3D space in your drawings. So if the story of this panel is that the character has to run from bullies, and what needs to be communicated to the audience just how fast this guy is, having the camera low, close and looking up helps to sell that. How? It gives the same feeling as a car speeding past you as you're walking. Also with the character's placement on the page, he's the first thing you'll see reading right to left. Then as your eyes move to the left, you see where he came from, where one of the bullies is in mid-swing with his bat. Exaggeration is an animation principle where you're pushing the movement further to give even more life to the action. This can easily apply to comics and manga. Take a look again at the 2-page spread. We can see how exaggeration is expressed in every movement the characters are making, from the clothing blowing back in the wind, the twists, bends and stretches in the bodies. Expressions are intensified, even the dust trail is exaggerated. So how does this simple tip instantly make your characters feel more real and engaging? Here's an example from the chapter 46 of the book I was telling you about, titled Draw Verbs, Not Nouns. How would you approach drawing this? Would you be thinking, I need to draw the parts of the body, the humerus, radius, ulna, scapula, biceps, triceps, deltoid, etc.? This quote is based on a drawing of a woman drying her hair with a towel. What follows will be different from the picture I showed you. Mr. Stanchfield says,
if you approach the pose from the standpoint of drawing verbs, you will simply be using those nouns to produce a drawing that portrays a woman bending over, stretching her arms, pulling her hair, or about to push the towel over her hair to dry it. You feel the hair below her left hand hanging. You feel the right arm cocked and ready to push forward. You feel the back stretching and the left side squashing, and you feel the downward motion set up by the angles of her forearms. The body is also balancing, twisting, and angling. You feel she is thinking about what she's doing, not just frozen into a still life.
When drawing with an anatomy-first mindset, the result will be stiff, lifeless, and awkward mannequin poses that look like they were traced from badly posed 3D models. Mr. Stanchfield goes on to say,
now, there is a list of verbs that should develop into a drawing that has the breath of life in it. The pose could be described by nouns, woman after bath, but verbs would charge it with the life-giving qualities of bodily movement, rhythm, motion, and action, allowing the viewer to participate vicariously.
You can increase the investment the reader has into the scene when character personality, thoughts, emotion, and action is communicated well through the body. What if you're not sure what verb to use, especially for those panels where the characters are just talking? I took a workshop by Andy Coombe on ProjectCity.tv, How to Storyboard an Animated Scene. In it, he broke down how he would take what was written on the script, then translate it to his storyboard. I'll share what I learned with this example dialogue I wrote.
Can I please have a turn? Pretty please.
Ugh.
You take all the toys. It's my turn.
Not true.
If you don't give it, I'm telling.
No. It's my toy.
Give it.
With each line, what is happening between the characters? The characters are trying to do something to get what they want. The dialogue is how they're trying to get it. Here's the breakdown of what's happening.
I want what you have, so I'm pleading for it.
I want to keep what I have, so I'm dismissing your plea.
I will now accuse you of unfair treatment in order for you to give me what I want.
I deny your false accusation.
If this is the case, I will threaten you with outside involvement.
I am justifying my reason as to why I do not need to worry.
I'm demanding you give me what I want, or we're scrapping.
What if my character isn't trying to get anything, you might ask? They are. You're just not sure what it is yet. Even if the character is delivering the most boring piece of exposition, they're still trying to do something to get what they want. Maybe it's to convince someone how cool this boring thing is. Maybe it's to just get through it. 'Cause they're forced to. Or they gotta be someplace else in a hurry. What I took away from Mr. Kuhn's workshop is that the words and pictures should complement one another and come together to tell the story. Now you know how you can improve your characters' poses so that they are awesome, but perhaps you need some help overall with putting that story together for your manga or comic. When it's ready, the link will be there to check out a guide on how to do just that. Thank you so much for watching and God bless.